Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to try out STR Cooler and his team with no dupes, 55%. I did obviously stream this morning, shout out to any of you who were there, and it was a little bit of a despair arc. I did pull some really good units. We ended up rainbowing Kid Goku, rainbowing Metal Cooler. I've now got like 3 dupes in Namek Goku after I originally had none. And as well as some other decent unfeatures as well. But after the stream, I did go in a little bit harder. As I said on that stream, I do have a collab planned. So I knew I had to save those stones for that. But I decided to treat myself to a couple of extra stone packs. And we did eventually manage to pull 1 copy of him. Because, I mean, I had some money set aside for Cooler. I was trying to make this clear in my video that I did about summoning for him, that he is just that good. Like, for me, he was a must-have card. So, I've been setting a little bit of money aside for him over the last few months. So, of course, we did manage to pull him. I brought a 55% friend as well, so we can show him off at 55%. I didn't really see the point of doing a, like, how good is Cooler at 55% video and then bring a friend who's like 90%, which someone on my friends list has him rainbowed already. So I probably will do a video about that. But I wanted to put this one out first. I also did a Super Battle Road run with him, which you will see later today, which was absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, I do want to show off the Cooler's Armoured Squadron at 55% as well, because I did pull them on the stream. So, obviously, STR Cooler, he is the leader for Terrifying Conquerors or Transformation Boost, giving them both 3 key, HP 130% and attack and defense 170. So this allows you to make a very interesting team. Like, obviously, I've only played like a few events with it, because I've only had this team built as of today, but low-key, I think this is probably my favourite team in the game at the moment, because we're able to mix the Cooler and Frieza sort of units alongside the other Transformation Boost kind of guys. Units like Janemba is obviously a very, very strong unit, very, very good on this team. And the fact that, you know, a lot of the times they bring out these kind of characters where they have their new category and then their sub-leader skill will be something lower. Or something not as impressive. So the key here, not great, because unfortunately Turles transformed. Turles, of course, here to be a support unit, and he let us down a little bit in that regard. But yeah, the fact that it gives both of the categories the exact same boost, obviously that means he completely replaces STR Super Buu, because he's better than him in almost every conceivable way, and his leader skill is better. So goodbye, STR Super Buu. Sadly for you, I can't imagine ever using you again. And it means we can use units like Kid Buu. So the reason this team can basically become so powerful is the fact that for these first few turns, we obviously have the team built, so I have a support unit in the floating spot on every turn. We have Kid Buu, we have Turles, and we have Golden Cooler. Now, Golden Cooler doesn't get his full passive because he doesn't have Heroes Allies, but his full passive is basically only for making him more effective. He always has his support passive, which is a very decent 30% attack and defense. So we've got 3 support units. Then our main rotations are Golden Frieza, the unstoppable defensive machine, and then 1 STR Cooler, and then Janemba, who is like probably now still the 2nd best EZA in the game, alongside the other Cooler. And of course, untransformed, Cooler himself is a support unit as well. So everyone's getting an absolute ton of support. Like, let's see how good Janemba is from having this support, and the fact that he's going to get attacked, so his passive is going to be active. Oh yeah, just a casual 3.1 million, you know, that's all. So yeah, he's pretty good. And then of course Cooler himself at 55%, 1.7 million attack stat is actually very, very good. So one of the reasons why I jumped into Infinite Dragon Ball History is obviously we know Cooler transforms early, or can transform because it's an active skill, against Hybrid or Pure Saiyans. But I did want to show off a few turns with him untransformed. And then of course we get onto this phase here, where we are now against a Saiyan or Pure Saiyan enemy. I think at this point it's been 6 turns anyway, so we would have been able to transform him anyway. But this is going to be very interesting to see, because with Turles transformed, that means we are now not getting any support buff now that we transform Cooler. So this is going to be Cooler at 55%, all on his own merits against type disadvantage. So, I mean, if we take a super attack in the first slot, you never know. We could actually take a ton of damage here, but I think that Cooler is going to be okay, because remember, as I mentioned in my video breaking him down yesterday, when he's transformed, he now gets 180% attack and defense. So let's see what his defense is here. So no support. Yeah, he's almost got 100,000 defense with no support on the rotation at 55%. I feel like I can't stress that enough. So, okay, 35,000. Now, obviously, Infinite Dragon Ball history. Vegeta, once you kind of got this far, does a little bit more damage than the earlier stages. So I'm kind of not surprised that it's not, you know, I wasn't expecting double digits. But herein lies the beauty of Cooler. So guaranteed crit. And then, of course, his passive has launches an additional attack with a 25% chance to become a super. That paid off for us here. And we got the second guaranteed crit. So obviously big damage from a super. Not ideal. But I mean, there you go. Considering no support on the rotation, type disadvantage, and even a super attack in the mix, and we still survived. So 55% Cooler is no joke. And let us go ahead and transform the second one here. So of course we do have the Metamorphosis link with Janemba, which is very good for some free healing. And of course we do have Kid Buu on the rotation. Post Easy A, he does still give a support buff when you're under 50% HP. So we are still going to get a little bit of a benefit from him. I will heal up though, just because we know how much damage this Vegeta can do to Cooler. Knowing my luck, he will super attack in that second spot there. So we will go ahead. I mean, Janemba could finish him off. But let's see. So let's grab this for you. So unfortunately, when he transforms, it seems that he does actually. I don't think I noticed this before, but he doesn't have shocking speed. So he doesn't lose it when he transforms. He just doesn't have it. Sorry. So this is interesting because we can't get a super. So yeah, I guess this is the one downside, because Kid Buu doesn't give ki when he's under that 50, was it 80% HP restriction. He does still give a support buff, which is nice, but it does mean that this rotation was a little bit affected ki wise. So that is something to bear in mind. Because Cooler, when he's untransformed, he's a support unit, but he also gives ki. So he does obviously work very well. So now we've got some support from the Golden Cooler, and we now have type advantage instead of disadvantage. So let's see how much damage we can do to Trunks. And then of course, bear in mind, in one of these events that goes on very long, Cooler infinitely stacks his attack as well. So we're actually going to get the Dokkan attack here, but let's see what his attack stat is going to be, because obviously in this event we're going to keep going and going. His attack stat is going to be able to just keep building and building. So yeah, 2.1, pretty good for a 55% unit that only has a 30% support on the rotation. So I really want to see the rotation of him with Golden Frieza, with Kid Buu with his full passive active. I mean, guaranteed crit, 4 million damage. And then there's the additional, no super, but 600,000 thanks to the crit. So Cooler almost doing 5 million damage by himself at 55%. I feel like I'm going to say that 100 times in this video, but this man is only 55%. So, yeah, it's pretty good. And of course, that was the Dokkan attack, so we get a full heal. So let's go ahead and put you in the front. Now we got Turles for the 40% support. So yeah, 93,000, and his attack stat already pretty high considering we haven't gotten the buff yet. So we'll grab this, grab these for Janemba, and then no super for Turles, but I mean, he's not going to be alive after Cooler's attacks, let's be fair. So obviously, Trunks does no damage to us, and then this Cooler up to 1.9. So obviously the other Cooler has attacked a bit more, because Turles on this rotation is giving more support, but he obviously hasn't attacked as much. I think maybe the other one was the one who originally double supered, but okay, so this is what I wanted to see. So this is the cooler who should be built up more. We've got Kid Buu on the rotation, yeah, so now he has 100,000 defense. I kind of want to see how he'll tank here against Goku, but I mean at the same time I also don't want to die. Yeah, let's just see his attacks. I want to see him tank, but I'm a bit concerned. And obviously, Kid Buu in the last spot here is probably going to take a fair bit of damage. So let's just see what attacks he can. 2.5. So only 2.5 million at 55%. You know, not bad. I mean, obviously, 50% support unit on the rotation is pretty big, but we get that crit, and that's one of the big things. Like, guaranteed crit on your super, it means that even if we go up against an AGL enemy, it just doesn't matter. Probably wise that I put Golden Freezer there, because as good as Cooler is defensively, he's obviously not like a tank by the general definition, so I think that super attack would have probably been pretty strong on us, and then we take no damage because of the good old Kid Buu with that dodge. So let's do this, because this way we get some Freezer Clan links. We also get, we're only taking 2 attacks. So I'm not as worried now to see how well Cooler is going to defend here. So let's see. Obviously Janemba we know is just going to be fine. Just shrug off everything. 2.69 mil with the golden Cooler on rotation. Pretty decent. And then we get a dodge. 50k from a super is basically nothing. And then, yeah, this other cooler up to 2.2 as well. So, as you can see, in these longer events, he's just going to stack his attack to, like, a ridiculous level. And then, of course, if you get this to happen, even though he dodged, additional super means additional attack raise. And 15 to 17k. I mean, that's not terrible, considering we are pretty close to the end of this run in the Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. So it's definitely not the worst. I will put you first because, you know, no point in taking a risk here. Normally I don't do the full Dragon Ball History run because it does take a while, but we are kind of steaming through this. So plus Cooler keeps raising his attack, so I kind of just want to see what he gets up to by the end. In fact, maybe I'll cut and we'll get to Gohan, the final Gohan. Okay, so we just got to the final Gohan. It took a few more turns to get through the STR one, and we did get a few additional supers off from both the coolers. So I wasn't necessarily going to start recording literally on the first turn, but I mean, look at the rotation we got. We got Kid Buu here, so feels like a good idea, right? So defensively, I think he's still going to, yeah, see 30k. I'm kind of not surprised, but 2.86 mil on the attack stat, that's pretty nice. So if we could get an additional here, could we break 3 mil, or do we need at least one more? Oh yeah, we need at least one more, 2.98. But, you know, for no dupes, TUR, like a 3 million attack stat. Obviously I know he infinitely, okay, this is going to hurt. I know he infinitely stacks, but like, that's pretty good. We could die. Okay, no, we should be alright. Like obviously if I do die here, I'm not going to restart or anything like that. Like obviously the idea was to show him off at 55%, and if him being 55% gets us killed, then I guess that's still part of, you know, showing what he's like at 55%. But I mean, we survived the super, and we'll survive the turn because at least Kid Buu has type advantage. So that was pretty good, and we are getting kind of close to another Dokkan attack. We've obviously got the Metamorphosis link here, but I am going to go ahead and pop another heal. So we know we can survive. Well, there's 3 attacks there and 3 attacks there, so I guess there's no real rhyme or reason to move the rotation around too much. So we'll do this, and then this. I can't remember which cooler has attacked the most, so we don't have as much of a support on this rotation, but I think this one might be the one that's attacked more. So obviously we'll see in a moment when we see his attack stat here. Okay, no, it was the other one who's attacked more. Plus, obviously, we do have the Golden Cooler only gives 30% support as opposed to the 50 from Kid Buu. So, and sadly, no. Okay, so he's going to take a super. So we know this is going to hurt, but we should survive. As long as his super doesn't like massively lower defense or something, we should be okay. Whew. Close, but hey, I mean, again, like I said, 55%. Now, he takes a lot of damage from this Gohan. That is definitely true, but he is a strong boy, so we're going to go ahead and use this. I mean, completing the Infinite Dragon Ball History event only using a couple of full heal items is definitely nothing to be disappointed about, so I would still say this has been a solid run. I'm not going to do the nodes, because I obviously, even if he crits, like I don't want Frieza to take out Gohan here, and obviously with the lower defense, lower damage mitigation due to being under 50% HP, Golden Frieza still taking quite a bit of damage there due to the type disadvantage. So I'm hoping that because we didn't hit the nodes, they shouldn't do too much. Now hopefully Cooler will finish the job. 4.1. Okay. 4.1. Pretty good. And then, yeah, nice big crit, 2.4 mil, goodbye Gohan, and there you go. So, that is Cooler at 55% on his own team. He is incredibly good. The banner's not been kind to a lot of people, but like I said, I do think he's worth a few multis. I've definitely seen a lot of messages and tweets directed at me at people that pulled him in like 150 stones or less. So, yeah, he is a strong boy. And it's not like I went for a speed run before, but we slaughtered our best time. So there you go. That is 55% STR Cooler. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.